Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening. Thank you so much for all tuning in. I think Peter, we might be waiting a few minutes, to let everybody get in, get seated, and get ready for the webinar. Let's maybe wait a few seconds for everybody to get installed.
No problem at all.
You can see my screen, right, Peter? I'm showing this presentation, right? Yeah.
I can see you in the screen, so it all looks great.
Perfect. Great. Well, I think let's get it started. The session is being recorded also in case you need to share it with other family members, cousins, in your families. So as I said, thanks a lot for taking the time for tuning in today's webinar featuring the Kuyper family story. It's really a rare opportunity we have to illustrate one of our customers into the webinars. Really happy to have you, Peter, joining us to share really how you've been using Trusted Family to professionalize the family council, but also professionalize the way you run the family operations as a whole. So, I will never thank you enough, and it's great to have you today online. So there's a lot of points that we have and that we could cover. A few highlights is one, we'll talk about some of the unique aspects of your family business, the De Kuyper family, which origins are dating back 1695, when I believe Petrus de Kuyper opened his first distillery in a village south of the Netherlands, which is not too far from where I'm speaking also here and where we're headquartered with Trusted Family in Brussels. I think it's such an amazing legacy that Peter and his family has been holding and keeping innovating and demonstrating also resilience. I can't even imagine after 300 years all the work that must have been done from the business side on the family side to keep it together. It's quite unique as a family as a story. So thanks again for that. Peter will also share some insights into their family council, which he chairs, showing what they are doing here to step up the game, to continuously challenge the status quo. I think it's talking about the family council 2.0, which resonates, of course, very nicely with Trusted Family, and that you've been really pushing internally with your family. And then also Peter will be kindly also presenting the platform that they're using today with their family, showing how they use it to operate the family council, but operate also all the different permissions and entities that govern kind of the family today. There are certain aspects of the platform that he might not be able to go into details because the session's been recorded, because we're a lot of us on the line today. So I might also share certain details as to how other families are using the tool. So yeah, maybe one thing for the audience here and for everybody attending. So the session is, we hope and we'd like to make it as interactive as possible. So there is a Q&A session, a box at the bottom of your screen with a button to allow you to ask any questions that you may have. Feel free to use that, and I'll make sure to even answer and cover some of your questions as we go through the presentation, to not do everything and wait the last minute. And this way we can potentially try and make it as interactive as possible today. And so, yeah, maybe before introducing Peter, a few words about myself. So my name is Arno de Koning. I lead the development teams here at Trusted Family, and I'm really fortunate to be able to count on really an amazing team around the US, Latin America, Europe, spread all over the world today. And have been, developing Trusted Family. I'm also fortunate to be a sixth-generation member of a Belgian company behind Solvay and Syensqo family business. Been using the platform for many years also now. And have been working very closely also with families over the past 12 years, supporting them in their family office, family council, family governance, and their digital transformation, which I really like, linking kind of heritage with innovation, which is really what we're thriving to do with Trusted Family. But I think it's enough talking about me. Let me, introduce you to Peter, the star of the day. So Peter, thank you so much for joining us today and for your ongoing support. I believe you've been a customer of Trusted Family for 2 or 3 years now. And yeah, maybe I'll leave the floor to you to kind of introduce yourself, introduce the family business, introduce your role in the family, and yeah, you
I will
can.
give it a go, Arno, and thank you very much for the fantastic introduction. And happy to speak today, and also thank you for the invitation to have me today. Because 2 years ago we started the venture with Trusted Family. It also came together with starting the Family Council 2.0, which is a subject we will touch later. But I'm really happy to share my experiences today, and it was great working with you guys. So as already introduced, my name is Peter Hitzbleck, and I'm a member of the Kuyper family, 11th generation personally. And the Kuyper is a spirits business based in Schiedam, the Netherlands. And Schiedam, nice fact maybe to know, is also the birthplace of Jenever, which then again is the mother of the gin as we know it. So, the history of the company also goes back with the history of the drinks. I personally live in Breda, the Netherlands, so even a bit closer to Brussels, Belgium. It's between Rotterdam and Brussels. And I live there with my wife and 3 daughters. So personally, I'm already expanding the 12th generation, and the 12th generation still is expanding. So, the legacy continues. Next to having a seat in the family council, I'm a shareholder in the company as well. Been for about 4 years now, I think, and a transition of shares from the 10th generation to the 11th generation also is a process which is ongoing right now. 2 years ago, I joined the family council, in which I have a seat together with my aunt, Renee de Kuyper, and my sister, Joelle. And Renee has been running the family council for already many years. She's a member of the 10th generation, sister of my mother, and has always been involved in the company, mostly as a member of the advisory board. What else to say? We're going to have a look at the platform and also demo how we put the platform together. But I think it's nice to also give you some background about the family. And we put together some slides, as Arno already told you. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask, and Arno will interrupt, and I will try to answer them as good as possible. Did I forget anything or no?
No, I
Or
think
can we?
let's kick us off. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So we have a long history as the company. So naturally, ownership should already have been expanded through many people, but in the past there has always been consolidations, and the last consolidation of ownership has been in the ninth generation, where the majority of shares went to my grandfather, Remy de Kuyper. And then, he was the managing director of the company, and my uncle took it over, Bob de Kuyper, in the 10th generation. So there has been a majority share within a smaller branch of the family, but we are expanding as a family. The current family assemble is a total of 45 persons as all. And we count all the people which are on the platform or a part of the family assembly. And for now, we decided everybody from 16 on can participate, and that's all members of the 10th and 11th generation. So ownership is happening right now already. And we felt over the years that there is a rising need to group ourselves as a family council and do it in a more structured way as we did. We're already a long way with family governance and started the process in 2011. I think it's a good time to show it to you on the next slide as well, so you have some background in what we did in the past, and that brings us to why we started the Family Council 2.0 in 2022. So 2011, I think, was the year my uncle Bob, together with Renee. Bob was the managing director then, and Renee was in the advisory board. Started off with the Family Council 1.0, as it is then, and well, we started working on the family constitution, and this process. Well, the kickoff of the council was done to present the constitution. It was a process which took us about 3 years, I think, in total. In 2013, we delivered the constitution as we still have it. And as many of you might know, it is and should be a living document. But we have written it then, and it did go into the drawer, and we didn't have it didn't get the attention it needed. Also because we weren't that structured as a council. Over the years, well, it was nice to have, and well, it's something to draw back on. But in 2017, we well, thought it was a good idea to start an initiative focused on the 11th generation. So my generation. For your information, the Family Council also was something where the 11th generation was involved, and which was a really good base for me to get information and to learn about the company. But well, we weren't in the lead. It was something the 10th generation was running. In 2017, the idea was to get the 11th generation more involved, and we did it with a program dedicated to this generation. It took about 2 years and was finished by well, a report. But then again, things got a little bit silent, and in 2022, we found the need to give things some more structure. So that was the moment we launched the Family Council 2.0. And we had some goals for the council, which I think might be the next slide as well.
Yeah.
Do we
Maybe
already
just
have some?
maybe just for Peter going to the next slide, I think, because I know that it's one of those topics that all of our customers are interested in, which is this next generation program
Yeah.
that you're sharing here. Do you mind sharing a bit about this program, the purpose of it, how it was set up, and what are you looking to achieve?
Well, we started it off with interviews, and we did interviews with the 10th generation and the 11th generation. It was a program which was outsourced, and we got help from some advisors as well. So this process was quite structured, and the goal was to start off with interviews to find what needs were there within the family. And also how to get the information after this. So first we did the interviews, and then we started working in think tanks, we called it, and everybody had their own topic and worked on this. So with this process, everybody was getting information, and we were speaking to each other on a frequent basis about the company and about the family business. So that really helped, and as an outcome of the program, we also selected two members of the advisory board, which came from the 11th generation. So that was the time when my aunt Renee passed over her board seat to two family members from the 11th generation. She has been in the board for a really long time before, so this was a good time to do it as part of the program.
Cool. And today you still have this next generation committee or team in place?
No, it went over into the Family Council 2.0, and the working methodic we kept. So we are still working in working groups, and the goal of the working groups now is to really look at the constitution as we have it. And pick out topics which we find necessary to further develop, and then the individual working groups start working on it. And they're using the platform as a place to meet and share information and plan everything. So
Hmm.
that's something, well, we kind of borrowed from the next gen program and took over also to the Family Council 2.0, and also a role the Family Council now had is more the coordinating role, which the external company or person did for us then. So now we have the coordination, but we can't do all the work as a council individually, and it really helps if we do it together. And there in the process also really is important.
Yeah. Really cool. And we'll be talking about this process, these topics as you share the demo and the
Yeah,
platform. So you will be able to see all these topics that were picked from the Constitution and prioritize in terms of the work for the TF 2.0 for the
yeah,
family.
sure.
Let me go to the next slide then.
So coming from the last program of Next Gen and looking at the goals we were aiming for as a family council, this is what we came up with. And the first one really was centralizing communication and we'll find something where we can find each other. And so this was the thing we started off with as a council of three then, and it was the first topic we had to address. Well, the first thing I went to do is just look at what could work. So you look at how we were working. So we had some loose WhatsApp groups. Information went over email. It was not really clear who was communicating what and how. So, well, what could be a solution? We looked at a dedicated website in the past, but then again, if you have it, who's going to maintain it? And well, how do you secure your data? And well, how do you get everybody on it? So that didn't work in the past. Personally looked at some options with Google Drive or everything which is on the market, like a SharePoint or something, but that really didn't give us the foundation we thought was needed. And then we started off also implementing the Trusted Family platform as a base to further build upon. And the goal of the family councils is, well, it's just to drive family engagement and get everybody together and work together in a structured way, because we feel we all want to do the work, but it was really hard to get it coordinated, and well, people didn't really know where to go to. So that was a goal of the council as we started it. And we also wanted to get more aligned with all stakeholders. So we as a family are working together, but it sometimes felt that the company wasn't aligned close enough to what we were doing as a family or a family council. And the same thing goes for the advisory board. So we wanted to improve alignment over all stakeholders. And we wanted to continue work on the constitution as we had it, because well, it didn't get updated frequently enough. People didn't know where to find it. So the goal is keep on working on the constitution and get a place where everybody comes together. So that were the goals when we started off, and I hope we're on our way.
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting how you always come back to this family council constitution as a working document. I think it's probably something that more and more families should be reviewing on a regular basis at every generation, but also whenever there's, picking things out from the constitution that was you know, aligned as being something important, something for the family to tackle, and then it's too often gets back into the cupboards and no one looks really at those challenges to tackle. And I think having it up there visible, I know that there's an actual space just focus on the family constitution. That's
It's the
it's tracked,
base.
see who's viewed, who's read it, etc. So I think that's really great. And I think coming back to a key word you say is understanding who communicates and what is
Yeah.
is quite essential, because not everybody has access to the same information. There's so many different personas and profiles and dynamics within the family that it's really important to align on that and
And
just
then the information might be there, but where do you look for it and who do you ask, you know? And if it's all on one place and everybody knows where to find it, then it really helps in setting the foundation for it. And I think, as you mentioned, the Constitution is a really important thing and everybody should take a look at it because sometimes you might need it. But it isn't the holy grail. And I think the process
Mm.
of speaking about what
I
do you
think we
want to
lost you,
have
Peter.
within,
I hope we
still
don't.
there?
Yep, still there.
Still there. Where did you lose me?
We just lost your around the fact that the Constitution was important to help yeah,
Yeah.
to help prioritize.
Well, and I just was telling it isn't the holy grail, and I think the process in thinking about what do you want as a family together and just putting it in writing is just as important as the Constitution as it is. So,
There's one just before going to the next slide. There's a question that good just got raised about, before forming this family council in 2011, was there any communication happening between the 10th and 11th generation, or between the ninth, 10th, 11th generation? Because there were probably three generations there a bit more active. Was there opportunities for you to ever work in the business, attending any gatherings, or was it more or less non-existent?
well, it was non-existent point, and well, it was something which we as 11th generation asked to the 10th generation as well. But I can say, as a family, we might be a bit closed, and it's not that normal for us as a family to really dive deep into the business, or you know. It wasn't that normal to do it. So therefore, for us as a family, I think it was really good that we started the process and well, topics which we put into the constitution, among others, were working in the family business and then also a family mission vision and how to work on ownership, transfer of knowledge, these kind of things. And well, 2011 already is well, quite a long time ago. And well, in this period, also the ownership was quite concentrated, so the need wasn't really there. And well, my uncle was a managing director. My aunt was in the board, and that was just how it was.
So would you say it's maybe the 11th generation who shook the tree and started pushing a bit the parents?
Yeah, I'm personally guilty.
Great. Great, great. Let me just go to the message. I just conscious of slides. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, this one I stole from a course, a program we followed with the Cambridge Family Enterprise Group. And it was really an eye opener in what a family governance should be, and how you can contribute as a united, industrious, contributing family to in the high end, the high performing, enduring enterprise. Well, and this visualizes the family as a base, which in our case, I think we still had some work to do in growing the bottom stone. And well, if you have a broad enough bottom stone, the rest of the stones follow and have a stable base. And coming from being a united industrious contributing family, you also get loyal, capable, active owners. And it's two different things. And I think we as a family council now, we are a family council and an owners council as well. So we're doing them both. But I think all the work you put in building the bottom stone really helps in creating a stable stack. So that's why I wanted to put this slide in.
Yeah. And
And
the plan behind here was not to do any advertising, etc. It's really not our goal. I think why I agreed to kind of share this here with you, Peter, and with everybody, was because I think what is paramount, and I see this more and more with all of our customers, is the importance to really keep educating yourself, professionalizing yourself. It's not because you've been appointed and you have the chance to be able to represent the family on a committee, a council, a board, whatever. It's not for granted. I think it requires also some dedication, some trainings, and trusted family doesn't do trainings yet. We're looking to build this community to help families learn from one another, but there's a lot of amazing companies and programs out there. And I really think it's important for everybody who sits on a board, a council, or a committee to really continue challenging themselves. I think it comes back with your resilience and the legacy of the family. If you want to stay together 300 years, you need to continuously open up, speak to other families, speak to experts who've done it, and continuously improve on what you do. Um, so before going into the demo, a few insights on the family council now after 2 years, Peter.
Yeah, and it's hard work. That's I think the bottom line. But it's really fun to see the progress and also see that engagement is something which we are working on and which also is coming. But I just wanted to share as well that it's not something you gain overnight. It is kind of hard work, and you really have to be resilient and just keep on pushing in things. So that's why I also put in there. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I think the process is really important, and everybody has to feel happy to share and just take everybody aboard, but keep the train moving. And then in the end, I think you will get there. And communication always is key, I think. Well, I think we found a really good base in Trusted Family to well, get everybody together and keep everybody informed.
Yeah, changing a 300-year-old family business and family legacy in overnight is probably not going to happen. And it's true for everything. There's so many topics to tackle, so many points. I think your family constitution is about 30, 40, 50 pages long. And in there's a lot of subtleties, a lot of topics to discuss. And so, yeah, clearly all of that requires focus, requires the right tools. And there was another question here that was raised is, who manages the information put on the platform? Is it the family council, or do you have different other people
Uh,
in
uh,
charge?
The answer is yes, but preferably not would be my opinion. So, well, in starting it up, you really have to push the cart, but I hope it's going to keep rolling on itself. And as people start finding the platform and knowing where to get what information, it's really easy to give access and let people put in their own information, share their own events, or it should be a family thing, not a family council thing. And if there are questions about it, and in the base we are responsible. But yeah, in my opinion, it should be self-supporting, but that takes some time.
Yeah. And there's also the reason why this question was probably asked also is because I hear a lot of our customers or families in general also sometimes fear that we're giving potential power in a sense to the family to be able to express themselves, communicate about information, etc. I think it's always a fear for every family, but there's probably more risk in not doing anything than there is to actually creating a forum, enabling them to communicate. There is, of course, the platform that does cater to permissions, so you could be able to, you have ownership rights and permission rights that allows you to control what gets published, who can publish what within the spaces, etc. I won't go into this conversation because I'm going into the nitty-gritty and the details of really how the permissions in the platform work. But this can be either very open and transparent in a space, or it can be completely controlled, and we can really decide who are the only contributors of a platform. So
It's really granular, and in starting out, I try to put open as much as possible, because if you don't, you get questions something isn't working, and well, in starting up, it's almost impossible to break things on the platform. So just give it a go. And the company had some concerns because we were also sharing our shareholder information and organizing the shareholder meeting on the platform about the confidence of the documents shared. And then it really helped to also show them we can watermark the documents, and they're in a non-downloadable tight space. So it caters to the needs.
yeah, Really great. So I think, yeah, the role of the platform.
Yeah, and I think most of the points we already discussed.
Maybe
Um,
one
uh,
last thing before sharing the demo, because you mentioned it when you were preparing for this, Peter, is I don't
yeah,
know if you can touch base a bit on the second point, because I think it is so important and so undervalued in family firm, which is the security of continuity. I don't know if you can touch base on that, because I believe, your
it
role
also
as
it
family
also
counsel is an unending, never-ending role.
I think a great question. It comes back to the question asked earlier: who is taking the lead and who is pulling the card in it? I think if everybody knows how the platform works and everybody is engaged on the platform, you have the base there. And for instance, I'm giving up my role in the family council next year. Well, the platform is still there, and it's much easier to keep on doing the work because you have the base in a structured way, um,
Yeah.
and that provides the continuity.
Exactly. And for every space, right? I think when a family member turns 18 and joins the family space, I mean, it's very risky to be always dependent on the parents or uncles, aunts, because everybody educates their children's in different ways. Other will really embrace and onboard their children's into the family business. Others will maybe stay a bit further or won't, and this way everybody again at the younger generation and the next generation as they turn a certain age will be able to have access to the same information. And I think
Yeah,
it's this continuity that is essential. So let me stop my screen here sharing, and Peter, I'll let you share your screen so that because of course I don't have access to your platform, so maybe you can kick us off. There are some questions around security. I'll touch base on those right after the demo.
is it there or not?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, great. So this is the home screen, and this is well the screen where everything comes together. And I think the most important thing to further explain is how we organize our spaces, and who is on the platform. Also, this is my view. So these are all spaces which are open to me. As also the guy who is upkeeping the platform, almost all spaces are on there. And just let's start off with the Kuyper Town Square, which I think is well, as the name says, the place where everybody meets and where everybody is on. So here, if you post an announcement or documents or anything, everybody gets the information. So it goes to the total family, so shareholders and all family members, but also the board is in here, and well, the board of the company and the advisory board. So all info shared here is going to everybody. And then the Constitution also has come up a few times. We have a space where we just put it, put all the accounts and here the Constitution. So you just click on it, and it's there. And it can be updated if we have new things, and it's something well I can do, but the work has to be done by the working groups. Let's go to the other spaces. So the family space is for all family members. Next gen space for everybody, family, but in the younger generations. And then we have a platform where only the shareholders are on. As a council, we have our own space. There's a space for the company where the leadership team is involved, and we're using a space as family council to communicate with the supervisory board, and then the supervisory board also have their own space again on the platform, which isn't visible for me because I'm not part of it, so I don't have the rights for the space. And then we have the individual working groups working on the different topics which we want to go on to. And they can work in the spaces on their own and plan their own meetings, share their own documents as well. And that's something we're in as a family council as well, because we want to help them where needed. And no, it's totally granular, and you can just fill it in the way you want to fill it in. But everybody is on there, and it's really easy to share events or plan events. So you can see here in the calendar what's coming up. The shareholders meeting is already on there. And you just push the invite, and everybody can look into what's going on and just react to the invites. So that's how we use it. And I'm not sure if you want to touch any other subjects or no, but
Yeah, I mean, there are a few questions that are being raised. I think there's a question around involving, and it's actually something I get often, involving employees, leadership teams, etc. It's always a question that I get. I think that's why maybe it's also about, this whole idea of it being a marathon, because you maybe don't want it in day one as you get everything started, but as you professionalize your way of working and understand more and more how you work with the family, you start seeing new use cases. And so I'm just curious to there are some questions about, well, how do you involve employees? Why do you involve them onto this platform? I don't know if you can share a bit about that.
it's a really a practical reason why we started doing it, and that's because we have the shareholders meeting coming up, and the company has to communicate to all shareholders the documents, plan the meeting, plan everything around it. And it was quite a daunting task for them to get everybody on email, get everybody reacting. So they were quite happy to push it over to the family council, and we asked them to really get on there themselves and also organize it. So and I was happy about it, because then they also see we have this platform. It's a structured way of working together. And if they have the confidence, we as a council can facilitate them in the communication towards the company. It helps to get all stakeholders together and do it as a family, but also involve all stakeholders.
Mm. There's another really important question that I love it because I always get the same ones again. It's like, what was when you started launching this out, releasing it to the entire family, what was the reactions from the family users on this transitioning to a 2.0 kind of way of working, a more digital way of working? Did you have some resilience, or did you have less technologically inclined people?
Yeah.
Which you always have, and how did you maybe go about solving that? Yeah.
It was good for me to speak to everybody as well, because you put it out to everybody, and then start asking, well, does it work for you, and can you find everything? I had to do 10 remembering sessions of putting the application on smartphone. Where do I find it? How does it work? But yeah, that takes some effort, and that's also the marathon thing, not a sprint thing. It really works intuitive, but it has to get into the habit of people in using it, and they have to see the added value, and that takes some time, and also takes some effort from us as a council to keep on providing information and keep people engaged. But the base is there, and I think everybody is getting used to it. But it took we're 2 years in the running.
Yeah. And do you feel the dynamics, the relationships changed with the connectivity of the platform versus how it was before? Would you say there's been a shift in the way you work, think, or how few people feel about the family and the business?
Not 100% sure if I'm the person to answer this question, but I do feel people are getting used to it, and also are starting to see the benefits, because that takes some time as well. And so first you have to really use it, and then the benefits get obvious from themselves. But I think it shares, or it helps. Yeah, really.
Really cool. If you don't mind, Peter, let me maybe share a few features because there were certain things that, for obvious reasons, we didn't want to dive into for the demo. But let me maybe quickly share my screen. I think one of the things that a lot of our clients use who have family offices is, you have different permissions. We were talking about the granularity of the platform where you can share information either with all the members who are part of what we call a space, which are typically a governance entity or a role in the family. You're a family member, you're a shareholder, you're a family council, you're a board, etc., etc. So you create different permissions for that with the employees maybe having access, as it was the case here with the Kuyper, which is interesting. Another key use case that a lot of our clients have is the importance of being able to push and distribute files to each beneficiary or each individual member. And for that, we have this functionality that we call My Vault, and we have this vault management possibility where you have external family officers, external advisors, tax advisors, lawyers who can go ahead and push files out to each individual member. So here I'm on My Vault. I can see I can have my tax files, my reports, etc., that are just shared with me. And if I click on one document, I have the possibility to see the document. We can add watermarks. I have electronic signature options, which allows me to be added with certificates that either I have to provide from my company or that are used, and which will add a timestamp, IP address, etc., and an audit trail at the bottom of the document. So it's more than just a collaboration and communications tool. It's also a tool to centralize all the important documents, files that needs to be reported and shared with each individual members. And that is used a lot by our customers. So that I think is one feature that I wanted to share also. And then I believe, you shared it also with the calendars and with the meetings. Every space has its own calendar. You have the board, you can synchronize your calendar with your own personal Outlook, Google Calendar, whatever you have and that you use. And I think why this is important is because, if you click on a document on a meeting and you get invited to a meeting, you can add your Teams or your Zoom link here, or if it's a physical location, you just add the location. And then you can also add all sorts of files in here, right? You can upload folders, documents, create surveys. And we've also been working a lot because the vision for Trusted Family is really to become the central operating system for your family office, your family, and your family business. And so what that means is we need to be able to also integrate with the tools that you use, So we've done what we call is adding a bridge. Basically, it's a bridge between Trusted Family and Microsoft, Google, Dropbox are the three integrations we've started today. And we hope to bring much more as we keep developing this new version of the platform and how that works. Let me just open here. Here's an example. I've added it to my favorite. It's a link to a spreadsheet that I have that was shared with me. And basically what's really quite neat is, we can really use the power of all these systems, which are, extremely collaborative, and, Trusted Family won't be able to be as collaborative as Google Drive or Microsoft and Dropbox and all the features that they have available when it comes to text editing and collaboration. So I think we've done bridges and integrations there to keep updating your family constitution or working together on certain projects that it be within each of your specific entities. And then you can have meeting agendas where you can assign action items, etc., to people, take your notes, and also you can have this can be kind of like a wiki where you can add your documents, files. I won't go into too much details, but high level, this is also key use cases for a lot of our customers. So yeah, there's quite a lot of questions that I missed out. I think the governance control. So I think it is quite important, right? To be able to, so we have basically different layers of permissions on the platform, right? I think one of these layers of permissions is you're an owner of the entire organization, which is basically an owner of the entire platform. This position, you have the control over, you are the one that can create groups. You'll be the one that will have visibility on statistics, understanding how the platform kind of works, and you're the one that can create new spaces and invite people to those spaces. So that's on the highest level. You also have visibility and can delete all the content, etc., added by people. The second level is what we call an owner space. So when I go to access control levels, I can see I'm either an owner or I'm not an owner of this specific space, right? And what this means is, as I'm an owner of the space, I can decide who has access to this space. So typically, taking your example, Peter, where you sit on the family council, where you'll be the owner of that one specific space, but you might not be the owner of the board or the town hall, I think town square space where you have the leadership space teams, because you're not the one managing that. But so you would just be able to manage the spaces you've been made owner of, and so you can decide for each in the space, you can decide how engaging you want that one to be. So you can decide who can create an event. Is it only the owners of the space? Is it all the members, or is it just specific users who have the possibility of creating events, uploading documents, adding members? So you can really control how collaborative you want a space to be, who can publish announcements, who can create members, etc., etc. So all of that can be customized on a per space level, which is really important. And then on the family space, and this can be added or removed for everybody, but we also have features like a family tree where you can see how you're related to one another, etc. And this is it's just nice. We have family members when there's a newborn, he or she just adds this new event, and everybody can see it. So yes, there is a question. Yes, we do have calendar integrations. I believe I did mention it, but if you go to the events module on the top right-hand corner, you can synchronize your calendar and add Google, Apple, Outlook, or other calendar systems that you use. And therefore, whenever you get invited to a meeting, those also get uploaded to the system. I didn't share, but we also have a native iOS and Android app, which basically looks like this one, where if you, the screen is responsive, but we have a native iOS, Android. And I think in terms of notifications, it's really powerful from an engagement point of view, because you have when you're notified about something, it just opens up on your phone. You click on it, you authenticate yourself. We have different layers of the authentication. I said I'd get back to a security topic, but we do have two-factor authentication that can be forced either to all the owners or people who have strict policies and rules within the platform, or you can force it to everybody, and therefore everybody really need to connect to the system through either a time-based authentication or text-based authentication within the system. We also have chat features that are available here. So you can have a chat for all the members of a space. That'd be the family council. If I want to start having a conversation here with Pedro, Pedro, thanks for the great presentation today. He'll receive a notification and we can start interacting and communicating this way with the people who have access to the space. So how do people get informed that new content has been added? So the notification doesn't go out by default when you upload a file onto the platform in any space, that it be the file or even on the main screen. If I go, for instance, here, let me just show you an example. Let me just pull out a document that I have here, and I'll just drag it and drop it here. It gets uploaded into the system. And once it's here, I have the possibility to, there's this little notification screen that's both here. And if I click on the document, it's also there, where I can create an announcement. And here I can start communicating it, and people receive a pop-up again on their phones. It will be either a push notification on their phones or via email. They will also receive a notification prompting them to connect, of course, because the document never gets sent via email. It's a notification you get via email to authenticate yourself on the device for security purposes. Can you invite people to a meeting without being on the platform? So yes, soon. What I mean by that, Michelle, is there is the Trusted Family is a never-ending product. We have a team of 10, 11 product developers continuously updating the platform as we speak. We have some quite a lot of features that are being released in Q2, so until the end of June. And we are working also for what we call extended sharing settings and permissions, where you'll be able to organize a meeting and invite an observer. Like, if you don't need to be part of that space to be able to join a meeting, you need sometimes to be able to invite a younger generation or an external advisor to one specific topic. it will soon be available. We'll be working on this throughout the summer to really bring this functionality and these extended sharing setting options on events and files. So that's part of the roadmap for the year and for Q3. Um, so just conscious of time here, and because I think it's a really important topic, also, I'm just keen to also share a few points around security, which you mentioned here also. I'll come back to that. But so in terms of security, there are different layers. There's a question around encryption. So the trusted family content and platform is encrypted, both what we call at rest for technology, more tech people, which means it's encrypted on the server level. It's of course encrypted in transit when it communicates between the servers and the web application. There was a question, we do use AWS, which is, I don't want it to go into too much details, but it's SOC 1, 2, 3 compliant infrastructures with databases in Dublin today. We also have our data centers in Amsterdam through DigitalOcean with daily backups happening between the two. We have information and a great document talking about our encryption methodology and practice, along with our an approach and our overview to all the measures of securities that we take. I'm happy to share that with you. I'll make sure to give you access to my email afterwards so that I can share all those files with you after the calls also. So there's a great question for you also, Peter, which I think I want to maybe ask before going back into the trusted family presentation is what would you say are the greatest benefits of the platform? Like if you were to choose two or three key benefits, what would you say would they be today?
I think it's the centralization of data and getting a family space. It's something where everybody comes together and what you can use to get things organized. And it's really hard to get everybody together and get things organized. And I
Hmm.
think it's only getting harder. And it's a system which really supports this and it helps us to come together and share information. So that will be key.
Exactly. And I think it's something that we see whenever. That's why we have this page from a deck that we've put together where, a lot of families before working with us, and even now when I speak to them, it's really, a lot of family members are sometimes disconnected, studying abroad, working abroad in very different mindsets from the family business, linking to having different ways of communicating and sharing information, linked to security threats, linked to the fact that there's no clear legacy history. I mean, your family business has been there for many, many years, and not everybody is 300. Don't get me wrong. I think you're the oldest client family business that we work with, Peter, which even makes it amazing. But I think, even if it's a family business created by your father, there is a legacy that is there to preserve and that is key to nurture and to control. And, having bring that clarity, I think is really important. And I think there's also something that makes a success to everything at the end is not just the technology. We've talked a lot about the family operating system, as we call it, because we have three pillars today at Trusted Family. There's one is what we call the family operating system. I want to give credit to what we call the family success team also, which we have a team spread around the world also who are our main contact person within each of our clients. So every client has a dedicated family success manager because at the end of the day, it's not really only the platform, it's also the way we roll out the platform, the way we customize the platform, the best practices that our clients are sharing amongst themselves that we're bringing to our customers and to our families and the ongoing developments that the clients and the families are doing and the content that's being uploaded. And so, I mean, hopefully, Peter, I don't know if you want to share a few words about that. I don't know if it's maybe it's Magali who's been your main contact over the years.
She really helped, and she knows how it works and what to do to get really started. And if there's questions or you run into something you don't get for the first time, she's always there and has helped us in laying it out. And I think we're there already. It's so intuitive. You really can figure out a lot on yourself. But if you need some help on any topics, she's there. And I think the nice thing as a family business and working with you guys is you get the business, and that's quite unique, I think.
Yeah. And I think there's also a third pillar I quickly want to touch base on because it's really paramount to the vision and to what we're building Trusted Family and where we're heading with Trusted Family is what we call the family community. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of information that our customers are doing, a lot of knowledge that our customers have, a lot of knowledge that Trusted Family and that our partners have. We partner with amazing academic institutions around the world who create great content. And you were talking when you went to do this family business training or this family council training online for 2 days, and there's a lot of this knowledge that we feel can or should be shared with every family members, and we have possibility to be able to bring the right information to the right people at the right time. And so we're looking to, really leverage our community to bringing templates, to bringing workflows, and to really bringing expertise in the family business field, that it be for the family council, for how to run a next generation, for how to run a family assembly or family days, etc. There's so much for Trusted Family to cover. And we've started building templates. There's much more, and that will be our main focus also towards especially 2025. But we have a family academy that's been created already today with a lot of events and conferences that are being organized both online and in person, and we're really looking to double down on that. And so yeah, I think I'm trying to answer to all the questions. There was one about spaces, about the chat. So you can create a chat both for all the people from a space, but of course you can create chat conversations that are one-on-one or one-to-many. You just create your little team of people with whom you want to communicate and information with through the chat channel, and that information can you so there's a
What's
lot of
also really
yeah.
nice, I know if I may interrupt, if you put out an announcement, you have a comment section below the announcement. So it's like a Facebook thingy for smaller things, you can get some interaction on a post shared, people can like. So it really drives engagement as well. So that's a nice way to communicate on the topic as well, I think, or it's helpful for us.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Well, with no further ado, I think I'd like to extend a huge thank you to you, Peter. Not just for your time, but also for, sharing your family journey. I think it's quite rare that we have clients willing to share like this in an audience online. For obvious reasons, security is paramount, but it's really much appreciated for you to take the time to share about the amazing legacy. If there's any people who have questions in the audience and like to reach out to people, just let me know. I added my contact details here. You can give me a call, send me a little email. I'll coordinate with Peter, and I'm sure we'll be happy to facilitate an introduction here to speak further. Um, yeah.
Happy to oblige, and thank you again for the invitation. It was helpful for us, and the process was really fun. So great work.
Really nice. Well, and voilà, thank you for all for tuning in. The session has been registered. We will, after coordinating with Peter, make sure to share this information with you also so that you can forward it, distribute it to all your other family members, cousins, or people within the family. And yeah, thank you so much. And we have other webinars like this planned throughout the month of June, July, and in Q3 and Q4. We try to do as much as possible with family business members. So yeah, let us know what you think of it. Do spread the word, I hope, so that we can just continue to thrive as a family and as businesses.